party sees Razza and Fred just running as fast as they can towards the inn. It sounds like Fred's back. Hopefully he has those two. The two of them were running in a rather forced manner. Gothy looked at them with a worried expression. What's going on? Fred began yelling. Tarek, holy fuck! Fred stood in front of Tarek, out of breath and shaking. Two bodies! Sewer! Building destroyed! Assassins? Maybe? Razza and Tobias! As he waved his arms. Razza, not out of breath, with 2 slashes in his chest, said, Oh, we had a bit of an incident in the alley back there. More assassins. May have caused some damage, nothing major. Fred's left arm punched Razza in his arm. Oh, what's that for? That was 25% me and 75% this thing. Gothy looked angry. Someone destroyed a building and bodies? As in dead bodies? Remember the guard, Gothy, the ruffian that tried to arrest Tobias? Well, we went and saved his ass. I really hope you left an assassin alive this time, Razza, because magic is only so useful, you know. Well, they got attacked by assassins. Sadly, Tobias made a hole in his chest. You should have kept them alive so we could have questioned them about the cult. Fred sat down on the floor and laid by his side. Well, it's kind of hard to keep them alive when they're trying to kill you, Gothy. As Rather pointed at her chest. Look what she did to me! It hurts a lot! And he winked at Tarek. Okay, can you just take us to this body so we can look for clues? Oh, follow me! Just happen to be a few blocks away. Fred spoke draconic. I swear I'm about to tie both of you in the basement. And Fred followed Razza. Y'all coming? If so, we might want to rest up first. There might be more assassins out there. I'm coming. Don't worry, Fleur. I'll be back soon. Razza then led the party back towards the collapsed building. It was fairly easy to find, mostly due to the massive icy dome that covered most of the alleyway. A large crowd appeared to have formed outside the block, where the things to look like a friggin' war zone. The nearby apartment building appeared to have been, for lack of a better term, melted under the force of magic, and a large contingent of the Magnemar City Guard appeared to be securing the dome. Sarenrae, have mercy! All of this for assassins? Tobias was currently standing atop the dome, guardsman body thrown over his shoulder, questioning a nearby guard about the location of a nearby guard post. Well, the guard looking at him was just absolutely flabbergasted. Ah, it's about fucking time you guys got here. Oh, dear Sarenrae, is that Tobias up there? And why is that a guard he's holding? Fred got in between the guard and Tobias. Razza and I were just gathering this fugitive and some crazy assassin attacked us. Thank God Fred was here to deliver the killing blow. Where's the assassin's body? Tarek looked around at all and had an eye twitch, and Fred just gave a death stare towards Tobias. I don't know, Fred, where'd you stash the body? I've been trying to keep this asshole alive. Fred looked at the guard. Officer, this is a huge, confusing misunderstanding on all our parts. Agreed. Look at this asshole who tried to arrest us. Tobias shook the guard in his hand. He's lucky Razzie and I spared his life. Fred grabbed the guard from Tobias and tried to hand it over to the officer. Arrest? What? I know, Tarek, with all the shit we've been through. Do you mean we have to arrest corrupt guards as well? And I thought they were on our side this whole time. Seems like that's not the case. I'm wondering if we even save the ungrateful lot from zombies, if this is how they act. You should have gone quietly with the guards. We could have cleared up the confusion with the wizard, Tobias. Gone quietly for what reason, Gothy? What'd I do wrong? You being arrested for hunting the wizard, which you didn't, and we wouldn't have had to try and clean it up with him. Yeah, talk to the region while you're at it. Mention Tobias and Razza do not appreciate the inconvenience this man presented to saving the entire city. Gothy, if you'd like to bring up the injustices the regent did against this man by having him try to arrest us, feel free. But your quorum is not with me, it's with the regent. Where's the body? Uh, do Coffee continued to get more annoyed. Where is the body? Tobias responded. Jesus Christ, Gothy, how morbid can you be? Fred, where's the body? Fred's left arm twitched violently. Tobias, don't you dare shift this onto me. Tobias then cast obscuring mist over the streets. Razza already said to use lightning to kill an assassin. Where are they at least so we can have it ready for questioning at least? I'm just as confused as you guys are. I'm trying to keep this guy alive this whole time. Well, it seems like we're done here. No body. I'm gonna head back to the inn. My chest is really hurting. Fred grabbed Razza. Stay, Razza. Something smells. And I don't mean the fact that you made a building melt. Tobias handed off the guard's body. Sounds good. Need a rest after all this. Yuzhin finally entered the scene and said, What happened to that poor guard? Oh, it looks like I'm staying. No, everyone stay put until we find this assassin's body. They may have information about the cult. Oh, Gotha, you're really obsessed with this body. Cult? Well, we can talk to it tomorrow. The cult has my brother, so I want to talk to it too. Well, Fred, where is it? Fred's arm twitched more and more violently as Fred looked red and exhausted with all the crap happening around him. Fred's arm grabbed Tobias by the throat. Where's the body? Tobias, huh? Looks like it's you who did it, and stop deflecting this onto me! Fred shook Tobias. Fred stopped for a second and let go of Tobias and slid down. Wait, Fred, you know where the body is? Fred, do we need to get physical here? It looks like you've already killed one assassin. How many more bodies are until that arm is satisfied? Fred should know where the body is, yeah? He saw it after all. Fred walked away from the crowd and said, I don't know the sewers! As Fred just walked back to the inn, defeated. Gothy's eye narrowed at Tobias as she walked over to the sewer hole that Tobias had cast obscuring mist over. Gothy whipped around to Tobias and said, Why do you keep doing this? What are you hiding? Was this person you killed even an assassin? Yeah, Tarek, why are you defending me? And Gothy, if you're listening, I didn't kill an assassin. I saw you using magic, Tobias. You aren't getting out of this. And both Fred and Razza say you killed him. 2-1, even if they're newer to the group. Oh, alright. And, so the party was basically all arguing each other, standing around an icy dome. Tobias was standing atop the dome, inside an obscuring mist. Gothy and Tarek were looking around for the body, but it's hard to see because of the mist. Fred just walked away defeated, and Razza was just kind of chilling. Gothy looks around to try and find an open skewering light, and Tarek fails to clear the smoke. As the scene around them, the party continued to grow in craziness. Eventually, the big boys arrived. The party spied a trio of characters approaching the source of the commotion. Well, approach is perhaps not the best word. They flew. The three of them flew through the air as easily as a fish might swim through water. The first appeared to be a mage, clad in the bright red and gold of the crest of Magnamar. The second appeared to be a cleric of Abadar. The third was an elderly fellow, also dressed as a cleric, but without any obvious holy symbol. He had a massive white beard, and wore a bright golden breastplate, along with a large leather sombrero. His weapon of choice? A pair of scythes, also inlaid with gold. As the three of them approached, the younger cleric held out a holy symbol of Abadar, and spoke a few holy words. As he did so, the holy symbol within his hands began to float out of his grasp, becoming larger and more transparent. It grew and grew, until a large ethereal holy symbol covered the entire alleyway. As this happened, a smaller-sized holy symbol of Abadar appeared over the head of every single person in this alleyway. As this happened, the older fellow opened his mouth, and out came a deep, commanding voice. This crime scene has been marked by Abadar. Any who speak falsehood shall have their treachery revealed. In addition, Any who leave this crime scene before testimony is given shall be fined 200 gold and be imprisoned for no less than 30 days. As this happened, the mage among them descended, and walking over to one of the awestruck town guards, looking at the demigod that had approached them, began to question the witnesses. Tobias, about fucking time someone came by to arrest this jackwagon. As he spoke, the elderly spellcaster floated down next to Tobias, though he remained several feet away from him on an angle. I am Oriel Kulikov of the Council of Ushers. What happened here? Well, I was collecting this corrupt guard from our temporary stashing place. I'm too busy to play jailkeeper, so I'd appreciate if you took him off my hands. The old man looked down at Tobias. Corrupt guard, you say? And by what authority do you accuse this man? Well, by my own authority. You accuse me of assaulting the regent who we just saved? You may have seen us fighting his entire army just to protect the regent earlier. The old man narrowed his eyes at Tobias. By your own authority. I know of no lowborn within this city with the authority to arrest their betters. And that was you? Who are you? I'm Tobias of the Sentinels. You may have noticed me and my friends saving the entire city of Magnamar earlier today. Or were you not aware of that either? At this point, the mage interviewing the guard stepped up next to the old man. The man speaks the truth, spoke the mage. This Tobias Sentinel saved the city. The large battle outside Naxxramas a few hours ago. It was them. The old man scoffed. Of course, they're telling the truth. We are within Abadar's gaze. No mortal can lie here. Turning back towards Tobias, the man nodded. My apologies, Tobias Sentinel. The mayor is aware of your actions to defend Magnamar from the undead, and we have been searching for you for some time in order to properly reward you for your actions. The fact we have been unable to locate you before now is regrettable, but something that can be resolved given time. Still, that does not answer my question. You call this guard corrupt because he tried to arrest you on false charges? To my information, Tobias, you were under arrest up until your actions earlier today. May I question this man? Tobias responded, Under arrest for what? I didn't do anything. The old man waved a hand, summoning a scroll out of an extra-dimensional space. Tobias Hawkbait, wanted on charges of assault, libel, impersonation, attempted first-degree murder, trespassing, threatening behavior, misuse of private assets, littering, willful endangerment of innocence, disturbing the peace, charges placed on authority of Regent Lord Melgrave under the Arcane Order, and then withdrawn. If you wanted to dispute these charges, I would advise you to head down to the Halls of Justice. However, the Regent has since voluntarily retracted his accusations against you. Well, that's a lot of silly words, and I kindly ask you to take possession of this idiot. I shall, but I wish to question him first. Please release him. Well, I'm more than happy to get rid of him. Tobias handed over the guard. The old man simply pointed a finger and summoned a massive, ethereal-looking blanket that engulfed the man, while also restraining him. A moment later, the old man spoke another word, and a long, thin white ray emerged from his finger and traveled toward the guard's mind before entering into his skull. The old man looked at the captive for a few seconds before turning back to Tobias and stating, I have read this man's mind. He testifies that he was coming to arrest you yesterday for the charges levied against you by the Regent. He claims you resisted arrest and actively restrained him and tortured him. Is this true? I never tortured him. Someone attempted to arrest me for something I didn't do. I told him I didn't do it. He decided to arrest me anyway, so I arrested him. That may be so, but to my knowledge you lack the legal authority to do so. Thankfully, however, we do not need to debate this here on the streets. Tobias, you are under arrest for assaulting an officer and attempted murder. Please come with me to the halls of justice. You will be entitled to enter a plea and a full trial there. On what authority? The old man looked at you surprised and gestured to the floating holy symbols around you. Do you really need to ask? Or shall I add blasphemy to that list as well? Blasphemy? Is it a crime to question why you think you have the authority to arrest me? I didn't see you on the battlefield today. But I'm tired, and it's been an eventful day. So I suppose I'll allow you to take me to a warm bed, and I will require a lot of ale for my cooperation. In response to the blasphemy comment, the man said, yes, because you're lowborn, and I am not. You really ought to respect your betters. My betters would have taken care of James Castleton, but I suppose my servants would be scrambling to fetch me a bed. Tobias then clapped his hands quickly as if summoning a servant. Bring me to my bed quickly, I don't have all day. The old man sighed and focused a hand towards Tobias. Do not resist, he spoke as he cast a spell upon Tobias. Tobias resisted. The magic struck him as he felt himself being teleported. Thanks to his superior will, however, he was able to resist being yanked through the ethereal plane to God's knows where. As the magic faded, the first thing he heard is, I thought I told you not to resist. I agreed to be arrested, not casted on. Warn me about you do such a thing. I am trying to arrest you. Please do not resist, or I will be forced to subdue you. Look, it's been a long day. I'd rather not fight you, and I can guarantee you don't want to fight me. Take me to my bed and we'll have no problems. I don't submit to unknown spells being cast upon me. At this point, a number of the lesser guards appeared to open their eyes in fear and take a few steps back. So resisting arrest it is, then. I didn't say I resisted, only I will not allow you to cast spells on me without warning. The old man floated a few feet farther back from Tobias and readied a glowing white spell in his hand. Well, I'm afraid you forfeited that right when you walked into Magnamar. You've got balls, Tobias. I'll give you that. But I can't have a lowbone like yourself defying the justice system in front of this many witnesses. The old man blasted him with a ray of wind. It did no actual damage, but it did knock the wind out of Tobias. From his seat, Tarek took note of the conflict. Tobias, I'd suggest standing down. He's another cleric, and unlike me, I doubt he'll hold back. If you'll calm down and talk, we can still resolve this peacefully. If you're attempting to teleport me to my bed, I suppose I shall allow it. The man pulled out a scroll and began casting a familiar spell. Tobias clapped his hands as if summoning a servant. Very well, make it hasty then. And Tobias disappeared in a puff of brimstone. The older man looked towards the crowd and, swapping back to his deep voice, spoke. This lawbreaker has been transported to the Tartarian depths of Kakarai as punishment for his crimes. Let this be a lesson of those who will defy the rule of law and the rule of Abadar. To all those who witnessed Abadar's judgmental light, a trial shall commence shortly for the accused. Any who witnessed the events here today are invited to attend and provide testimony. Failure to do so will result in a fine of no less than 5 gold. The second cleric gestured around, and a giant ethereal holy symbol slowly disappeared. However, as it recessed, the party was able to see that every single person currently in attendance was marked with a small, barely visible purple symbol of Abadar on their left cheek. Excuse me, sir, spoke Tarek. If it's not too much to ask, when will this trial be? And when? The halls of justice. Within the next few weeks. You will receive a note when things are organized. Well, I've earned myself some well-earned rest. I suppose I'll be heading back in the direction of the inn. We'll discuss on what to do about Tobias first thing tomorrow morning. Of course, sirs. Thank you kindly for this. We'll be there when everything is ready. Before we all go, could I ask if you retrieve something for Tobias? He was carrying some funding we needed from a friend of ours. I hope it's not too much to ask. The cleric looked at them before he took hold of his holy symbol, and the three of them vanished. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, I vote we go home for now, spoke Yuzjin. And that's where we called it.